Welcome to LJ's Spurs Chat. Welcome to Extraordinary Rant. From me, LJ. Hello, my yids, my fellow yids. Hello, my fellow yidettes. Well, the transfer window's shut. I'm pissed off. You're probably all pissed off. I've been watching loads, YouTube, other things, and I thought, just keep out of it, LJ. Keep out of it, shall we? Because you're going to blow a gasket. But I thought, you know what? And I happened to finish early the other day, I had a bit of a loose end. And I sat there and I thought, I'll just write a few notes. And it turned into like a novel. So I've cut them all down. That's why I've got my bins today, because I'm going to have to be reading off some of my notes. So bear with me, yeah? Just let me know if I'm being over the top, or let me know if you agree with me. Quite a few topics. I'm going to talk about the window first. I'm going to talk about ROMERO'S outburst. We're going to talk about ENIC. What else are we going to talk about? LEVY and this shares business. Yeah, quite a lot to cover tonight. And I'm riding solo because I thought I won't bring Big Dan on here. Dan, if you're watching, hello, Shabby. But I thought I'll probably bore you all to tears. But I've never really done this, like this long-winded thing. Well, it looks long-winded, but it probably ain't when you talk about it. So, evening, everyone. Please like and subscribe. Keep punching this channel up for me, please. Transfer window. What did we learn from this transfer window? Put the bins on. So much is being said about this window, and most Spurs fans are absolutely fuming with the lack of incomings. Correct. The recent frustration from the fans has been aimed really at Thomas Frank, but now the attention is. Hello, sir. It was. The tension is now firmly, I believe, on the board. Having promised so much, but having delivered next to nothing, out of a net spend of just £13 million. You know what I mean? I'll repeat that, £13 million net spend in this window. Why didn't the board, if they didn't want to back him, at least help him? Because whether you like Thomas Frank or not, they're in the shit, ain't they, with injuries, so why not help him, eh? Some are saying, the defenders of this is always defenders. Some are saying once the players return from their injuries, the club don't want to blow its squad. I understand that to some degree, but at the minute, the squad has been seriously hit by injuries. Thomas Frank needed help to cover just to get through to the end of the season. 100%. That's just my opinion, just to get through to the end of the season, right? Even loan deals would have been okay, just to give some players a much needed rest, as many are getting overplayed, and that could be a factor for some of these injuries, right? For example, Pedro Porro, whose fitness is on another level. We all know that. The last 2 seasons, he's played virtually every single game. So the fact that he's only just got injured is not a surprise. And the management team should have seen this was going to happen. The speed and intensity of the Premier League is like no other league in the world. So a squad is needed, especially with Champions League football to contend with. Well, maybe the club think that the Champions League's out of the way till March. We've only got to play once a week till then, so we'll be all right. But no, my opinion is injuries can still, and they will, happen. I am going to stick by with what I've said all along. The board don't want to back this manager, as they're certain of him they're not certain of him being in next season, with Pochettino the favourite to be at the club after the World Cup this summer. Am I right? Or am I right? Right, let's have a look at it a minute. Just going to try something. Oh, what happened there? Oh, gone off here. Sorry, don't know what happened there. Have I gone off again? Bear with me a minute, because I don't know what I'm doing here. Well, I've got a technical problem here. Can you still hear me? Bloody hell. Hey, yeah. Let's move on to Romero, yeah? Because there's been a lot of arguments going on within the Tottenham fan base about Romero. Some saying he was right, some saying he was wrong. So anyway, club captain, Q Romero's once again come out and had his say. And I am all for that, despite many suggesting he should have said it behind the scenes. Bollocks, is my opinion. Why? He's obviously been lied to, isn't he, this summer to get him to stay and have a new contract. He's obviously been made promises that have been broken. And now this window has been pathetic. He's quite right to publicly call out the board, didn't he? And also, when he done his post, which was supposedly on Instagram, so far, I haven't checked lately, but so far, Conor Gallagher, Pat Sarr, Jed Spence, Porro, Solanke, and Kevin Danzo liked it. So there's serious unrest in there within the team as well. And also, fans have got a right to know what's going on. The club is in a mess, and the board have gambled on the hope that Spurs won't go down this season. They shouldn't do, but it's not a certainty by any means. And today, when Thomas Frank was pressed on it about Romero, obviously he's advised by a press officer already before he comes out, but he was basically saying it's been dealt with internally. Yo, Harry. So my opinion is, let me know your opinion. I think he was right. It's about time we had a club captain that's come out and said it, and that's twice he said it now. Some people are saying he's just doing it. He's just doing it to get out. No, I don't think that. Yes, they do. The club do know that the board are liars. 100%. Fair play to him. Fair play to Romero. I love it. No, he's not. He's not trying to get out. He can get out. He can get out if he wanted to. He don't need to do all this shit, because while he's there, he really cares, in my opinion. And he's pissed off. Would you be pissed off if you went into your own job, whatever you do, work in a factory, in a shop, or whatever you do, and your boss says, look, promise, 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 and it doesn't deliver? You're going to be pissed off. Do you know what I mean? And then other people are saying, when I've used that example, yeah, but you wouldn't go and tell everyone, would you? In the shop or in the factory. Well, no, I wouldn't, because that just affects me. But in this is a football team, a football squad. It affects everyone. On Romero's post, Thomas Plank said, I think if you want to know what he meant, you have to ask him. Well, I'll just pick up the phone, mate. That's the right answer to this question. QE is a very passionate person and leaves everything on the pitch. He wants to win every time, and there can be an outburst. It's something we have dealt with internally. There's a way of doing things. He has been very good at doing things. I wouldn't have done it. This is my message. The beauty of written text is that you can read into it, and the only person who knows what it meant was QE. I think it shows that QE is extremely passionate. He wants to do everything he can with his teammates to achieve great things. Anyway, he's been told to say that sort of answer by his press thingy. Because it's funny enough, when I was doing this, a clip came up, and it was Scott Parker, the Burnley manager. He was sitting in his office and he was getting briefed on by his press officer, Burnley's press officer. And they were just about to go, and I couldn't believe it. I knew they was chatted to, but they basically tell them what to say. So they're too fit to say. It must be horrible sitting there and having to say things which you probably don't believe in yourself, which is why I had a massive respect for Conte when he came out. Do you know what I mean? Oh, anyway, especially if more injuries happen, despite what Thomas Frank will say publicly, he knows he hasn't been backed at all, and he must be frustrated. Whether a fan of his or not, he needs help, and he's not getting it. ENIC, once again, have let the manager down, and not for the first time. Probably not for the last. Profit over glory is often used in fans' analysis of these owners, and it's hard not to agree. They said they'd invested £100 million to go towards the team, said they were going to raise the wage structure, but nothing so far at a time where it's desperately needed. They also had, according to reports, earned £42 million from getting to the knockout stage, the Champions League, which has also got into their pockets. It is a disgrace. in my opinion, as things stand at present. Thomas Frank alluded to having a big summer if things didn't come off during his window. But can we honestly believe that? How many times have we heard it, especially the older lot of us? If the summer is somewhat successful in terms of arrivals, does this mean all is forgiven? We shall see, but something must change from the top, as at the minute the club is in crisis. Is all forgiven then? Well, my point of view is, right, if they go out and spend 200 million, 300 million, yeah, I'll let them off. Right. Thomas Frank must think the same as Cutie Melly. Why did they say? Yeah, exactly. And he came out, didn't he? Vinay. He came out in the middle of the window to say such things. The wage structure, this and that, this, and he must regret. You say that Thomas Frank must be the same. You're right there, and he must feel a complete lob when he came out the other day and says we tried to get Romero. Sorry, not Romero, Semenya. Why would you even say that? He's not experienced enough for this job for me. But Spurs fans, I do feel sorry for him because we can't really judge him. Hello, Leon Hudson. We can't really judge him, can we? Even though we don't like Thomas de Plank, we can't really judge him because he ain't been given the tools. Do you know what I mean? So that's about Romero. That's about the window. Protests. This is going to cause a stir, isn't it? As you probably know, the other day, the protest was non-existent. So let me just say this bit of what I've written down and then see what you agree. Protests. Change for Spurs. How should change for Spurs go about proper protests? Firstly, I want to say big respect to change for Spurs. They're getting slated, which I don't think they deserve because they're trying to bring about change, and the common denominator is right in it. We all agree with it, but it's just how about they're going on things. Whether it's lack of experience, I don't know, but they're not doing it right. But I have got big respect for them, and by saying what I'm saying, I'm not disrespecting them at all. Yeah, this is my opinion again. I say for a start, much more advance needed of a proposed protest to give fans a chance to attend. Right? 4 weeks, 6 weeks to get it out there. Forget the so-called minute to walk out. I think big up. I think a home televised game against a so-called lesser team, so fans won't mind so much missing it. Because I understand that the season ticket holders and even the ones that go regular, they're not going to want to walk out the game. They're not going to want to walk out the game because they pay good money. So let's make it. I'll put myself in a position as a season ticket holder, right? But I'm not. So if I've paid a shitload of money, like, was it £1,000 for a season ticket? I don't want to miss a Man City, Man United, or Scum game. So make it a lesser team, which is televised at home. If I have to boycott that game, if it's against like a Brentford or a Fulham or something, I won't mind. I wouldn't mind, right? And then just don't go in off pot this. So boycott the game. Stand outside and protest. This way, the media will be on it immediately. Those black balloons that were being used before with ENIC out on them, get thousands of them, let them off. You could even go into the ground beforehand, let thousands of them off, and then come out. The board will also be sitting there, loads of empty seats, ENIC out balloons everywhere, and thousands of fans outside protesting. The message is clear to see then. This kind of publicity, believe you me, is not what the club want. Not with all their sponsors, not with all their deals with like American football deals, etc. These sponsors and deals at the club, they would want answers and quickly. And also, once across all the media prospective buyers will also be getting in contact. They will be on the phone. What the fuck is going on there? We're associated with Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Sort it out. They don't want that. As I said before, owners that buy a club or business for 80 million quid, and 20 years later, 25 years later, whatever it is, they've seen that business, what they bought for 8 million quid, is now worth. Yeah, they haven't really at the moment. At the moment, we're trying to help them here, aren't we? But what I'm saying is, any business, any consortium that buys a business or football club or whatever for 80 million pounds, and then 20 odd years later sees that it's worth 4 to 4.5 billion, and don't sell it, What does that tell you? Greed. That tells you greed. They're not interested in the football. They're interested in the dough, the spondulics. Do you know what I mean? Tells you a lot. Greed is their drug. Like I said, most normal people would sit there, would sell and enjoy such profits, but these want more and more and more. If they could get rid, this is probably going to cause shit, but I don't care. If ENIC, right, had the choice of fucking off the football and just being a facility to hold events, believe you me, they would, because football to them is headache. They did lie to everyone. Yeah. I know I said this January, Lee, was a big window, but believe you me, for ENIC, it is absolutely colossal this summer because of what Vino said. And also because they've done fuck all, have they? So the summer is massive pressure on them. They have to go out again. They have to. But they haven't just got to contend with that now. They're probably going to have to contend on top of having to get 3 or 4 world-class players in. On top of that, they're probably going to have to contend with their captain wanting to leave and Van der Ven wanting to leave. Maybe Porro wanting to leave. And maybe others. They're absolute idiots. I've said here that they need, in my opinion, to sell because we have become an embarrassment. Listen to this one. They allowed Paratici to stay on and help them for this window, right? This is the hierarchy of the club. And this proves to me they don't know nothing about football. They've said, you can stay, just can you please help us for this window, Fabio? You know what I mean? Show a bit of loyalty because we show loyalty. Oh, of course I'll stay and help you. What did he do? Fuck all. But he bought 5 players or brought in 5 players for Fiorentina, and Manor Solomon was one of them. You couldn't make it up, man. Yeah, you know what I mean? Jesus Christ. Absolutely ridiculous. No. Yeah, I think so. You're right there, mate. And I do hope you are right. But Paratinci's gone back there laughing, isn't he? He's absolutely laughing. I'm not just going to do fuck all for you. Can I nick one of your players? Yeah, go on, mate. Jesus, they've got no one that knows anything about football. Nah. Yeah. Same as me, mate. I don't know how old you are. The price is all out. There's loads of us like me, probably yourself, like you just said. That, you know, even if you didn't have a season ticket, you'd be able to get a game. You'd be able to go most of the home games. You can't go now. As soon as you get older and you get yourself a little family or whatever, or you might even be on your own, but you go and see your kids at the weekends, whatever, you can't take. You'd like to take them, wouldn't you? You can't take them. It costs you like 200-300 quid, man. To continue, I'll put come the summer, we more than likely won't be in Europe. So the club will then say it's difficult to attract players because we're not in Europe. They've always got an excuse. Obviously, as a Spurs fan, I've been a Spurs fan now for coming up to 47 years. 47 years. I don't want them to get relegated, but if they did, it would serve these inept owners right. It really would. It really would. Milton, listen to me, Javi, right? Sidetracking here for a minute, because Milton is on here and he tries to predict the results because he wants one of my desperate to get his hands on the old LJ mug there, Jerry. So Milton, right? Guess how much it's going to cost me to send that to Australia, my friend? 25 quid. I'll keep trying, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do because you're always on here. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Chavy. If by the end of the season you still haven't got it right, I'm going to send you one just out of loyalty. There you go. Anyway, let's be honest now, yeah? If we suffer 2 to 3 more injuries, we are proper in the shit. And the prospect of relegation is a stark reality. As I said before, the owners are taking a massive gamble here. We need them out, and we need them out sooner rather than later. Looks like so far. I'll tell you what, though, most people agree with me so far, so let's keep together. I thought he was going to say 60 quid, mate, to be honest with you, Milton. So if I wait till the end of the season, I can save like What's that? £2 a week? Is it? £150 a week, and then I'll have enough to send it to you, mate. We are you know, at the end of the day. Hey, do Aussies use tea mugs then? No, he said he's going to use it to put his missus's flowers in or something. Or look at my face and shit in it. On to your. I know this is the. We're going to go on to your favourite person next. I know all of you are a massive fan of his on here, so I thought I've got to do a little segment on him now. It's all your favourite person at the club, Johan Lang. Oh dear. He said, yes, firstly, this is an issue I enjoy doing because I think this gives me and us a great opportunity to communicate directly with the fans around the transfer periods. I saw this window here as one of the quieter January windows across not just only the Premier League, but across football in general. I think there were, including free transfers, 33 transfers across the Premier League. Get that in there quick, didn't he? Here's the excuses now, yeah. That is a result of especially the new format in Europe. Now we have clubs competing in their Champions League or Europa League during December, and of course during the last part of January as well. 48 teams progressing further in the European competitions after the window. I think we saw that a little bit last year, and I think we can even see more this year. It's changed the dynamic and a little bit of the January transfer window with less businesses being done. Jesus Christ. Of course, the knock-on effects of the increased fixture schedule is also that not only us, but a number of clubs would say they have too many injuries. No shit, Sherlock. That meant there were simply not many available players across the whole marketplace during January. Just pause there for a minute. So you're saying to me, oh, Johan, that teams in, let's say, the bottom half of the Europa League table, in the bottom half of the Champions League, you couldn't find any players in those so-called lesser clubs that could have done a job for us. Come on. He must think we're all thin those, man. Even though our financial situation is better than most clubs and we have owners that are willing to invest, it's important to sign the right players. The lack of incomings wasn't a lack of willingness to make investments to support the team. There's no point buying players that don't help us for the short term or medium to long term. In case you heard that wrong, Spurs fans, I'm going to rewind. He said, there's no point buying players that don't help us in the short term, medium or long term. So what term then? What term? Jesus Christ. I mean, you couldn't make it up, could you, to be honest? I've never heard such bullshit in all my life. No wonder the Villa fans were partying when he left. Jesus. I mean, this is our head of our transfer and recruitment at the minute. You don't know what he's doing. He goes on again. We will go into the summer with big ambitions. The plans are already drawn up and we have a clear picture of what positions and which profiles we need. So does this mean the club will spend big this summer? Who knows, but history suggests not. And I'd like you to take a note of this, please, Spurs fans, because I think I can see into the future, right? And I think they're going to come out of this. Let's fast forward, right? It's now September. The window's shut. And this is, I'm going to be Johan Lang, right? It's a tough summer transfer window when the World Cup is on. We have ambition to go big again in January. You know it's coming, eh? You know it's coming, chap, I'm telling you. Oh, I'm being posh, Harry, because I'm being Lang. But you know that's what he's going to say. We couldn't get anyone in because the World Cup was on. Jesus. And if you don't believe, with all you young fans, or youngest fans, younger than me, right? Harry is my boy now, he's young. But let's just look at the history of ENIC here. There's probably more, but I didn't want to bore you too much, right? So just listen to the players. Look, what I've had to leave. Carrick had to leave the club. Berbatov, Modric, Bale, Walker, Ericsson, Kane, Romero once away, Van der Ven once away. There's a pattern delivering here. Absolute pattern. And you wonder why. Common denominator, my friends, is ENIC. It's time to go. You're on one more chance with me, and it's that big. If you don't go out and spend at least 300 million in the summer, fuck off. Pardon me, French. fuck right off. Right. Paratici, quickly. Am I reading too much into this, Spurs fans? I see. They are, mate. Yeah, they are. Yeah. The thing is, they're saying they know what they need. It's made me think, are they not going for Poch after all then? Are they going to stick with Lang? I don't know. I don't know. When it gets too bad, they'll bring Poch, back Poch for more time. Yeah. Yeah. It looks that way, mate, doesn't it, to be honest? We're on the same page, mate. Yeah. Answer me this once, right, Spurs fans. Am I reading too much into this? But as Paratici, is this a little dig? He came out today or early this evening, and this is the heading on this was Fabio Paratici on why he left Tottenham for Fiorentina, right? And it says, to do it with these owners who are very serious, an infrastructure that's super international, a brand known all over the world, and people who share my ideas on the game was more than enough for me to come back and work here. Well, I think that's a dig. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do. The owners who are very serious, people who share my ideas. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, something going on there. Something going on there. Anyway, Spurs fans, you still awake? Levy. A few of you are missing Daniel Levy now, aren't you? Eh? A few of you are missing him. You won't say it to him. I don't know if you've heard, but Daniel Levy is trying to sell his 30% shares. And I've got a bit after this, which will say what it could mean. Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. Right. Right, Yids and Yettes. Two potential buyers are reportedly teaming up to acquire Daniel Levy's 30% share of Tottenham Hotspur's ownership vehicle, ENIC, which controls the club. According to current reports, American investor Brooklyn Irek, who had a previously rebuffed proposal, is joining forces with Hong Kong businessman, I'm just calling Wing Fei, in a combined effort to buy Levy's stake for around £1 billion. This ain't the full takeover bid. It's focused on Levy's personal portion of ENIC'S shareholding, which is just under 30%, a threshold that would trigger a compulsory takeover offer under UK rules. That means they could buy his stake without launching a full club takeover. A sale of Levy's stake to outside investors would be a major change in Spurs' ownership landscape, even if it doesn't amount to a full takeover, levelling fan and boardroom tensions, particularly after managerial and transfer frustrations. This deal would be watched closely. So just a brief figure, I personally think, before I carry on, it's going to cause some shit, this. Because if you remember, he was marched out of Tottenham. He was marched out. And he won't even let him come back to his feet. Something's gone on there. It's pissed Daniel Levy off. And no matter what you think about him, he is a very astute businessman. And he's trying to piss them off. And I think he will succeed. I do think that. Right. Brooklyn Iraq, tech entrepreneur and former DJ. Who is he? He's an American tech entrepreneur with a varied and unconventional background. Well, apparently, before I carry on, that comment there, they had a gentleman's agreement that if Daniel Levy, or if any of them decided to sell, one, they wouldn't do it separately, and two, if they wanted to sell their shares, they would give the other person first option. I don't think Daniel Levy's sticking with that because he's pissed off. Anyway, who's this man? Early life and career. He started out as a DJ, as a teenager, performing internationally and reportedly at festivals like Sundance. After music, he worked at NASA in an engineering tech capacity before shifting fully into the technology sector. He founded Redacted R&D, a tech firm focused on technology, sports, media and entertainment ventures, and co-founded Agorith Capital, an investment fund. He's been involved in apps and tech projects, including social media and streaming ventures. He was linked with an attempted acquisition of the Maserati Formula E team, but the deal collapsed. Reports have questioned the seriousness or financial backing of the past takeover, with some commentators suggesting his early bid for Tottenham may have been more speculative than well funded. A previous attempt by his consortium to launch a £4.5 billion proper takeover of Tottenham was rejected by the club's owners. Then they withdrew it. So, in short, he is a well-connected but somewhat unconventional tech investor whose Tottenham ambitions have been high profile, but also met with serious scepticism and rejection. But apparently, from what I'm hearing, this other man, Wing Fai, whatever his name, Hong Kong businessman and CEO. Who is he? He's a Hong Kong-based businessman with extensive experience in financial and corporate leadership. He is currently Chief Executive Officer and Executive Director of Triller Group, a company involved in technology and media. His career spans leadership roles in investment management and financial servicing firms, including founding investment entities. He has held multiple executive and directorship positions across firms involved in finance, investment management, and technology sectors. In the Tottenham context. Yeah, I'm just trying to get, I know, sorry, Matt, but I'm trying to get you all involved in this so you understand what's going on, because it's looking like it's serious. It's serious, Milton. He is reported to have been the leader of an Hong Kong-based consortium interested in Tottenham ownership, separate from ENIC'S, before recent discussions, and they've combined the two together. I'm nearly there, Milton. His involvement grounds the potential to do it in more traditional business and executive experience compared with ENIC'S tech. So it's obviously they're going to go into together because ENIC isn't really that clued up. This man's going to do it. Board seats. Right. A 30% shareholder would almost certainly demand board representation. That means, this is the important bit now, Milton, so put another sugar in there, Jamie. New directors at the table, and this is what Levy's hoping for, and it's called shit. More voices challenging ENIC'S decisions. Less of a one-way street boardroom, as it is at the moment. ENIC still wins votes, but decisions get slower and more political. You know that's going to include transfers if this happens. Word in the street, but no, I did see that, mate. But apparently, the word back on the street is happening. It is going to happen. Let's just crack on to the football bit, right? Then we can crack on to the other stuff. What it means for the fans. I'll cut all this because I didn't realise it was that long. Look, this is the football bit. They can't force spending, but they can challenge, push for high risk, higher ambition, block extreme penny pinching. So the best case scenario is ENIC stops playing ultra safe because there's now an internal critic. Worst case, deadlock, slow decisions, missed targets. So basically, you know what I mean? Yeah. You turn to Frank in and yeah, because you've got to sympathise with Frank, ain't you, to be honest with you, mate? You have got to sympathise with him, ain't you? The risks can go wrong because ENIC and the new owners might hate each other. Every big call becomes a fight. Boredom leaks, medium chaos, football decisions stall, which is not good, is it? Do you know what I mean? Got my head knackered now. So basically, we've just got to wait and see on that. I know I want ENIC out, but would you like want them to take over and cause shit? Arthur, you probably think the same as me. Arthur me thinks, yeah, go in there and cause shit. But it would just be detrimental to us, wouldn't it, in signing players and doing anything else. Do you know what I mean? I'm a bit funny about that. Do you know what I mean? A bit funny about that. You have to let me know your views. I think that the man that said it earlier might be onto something when he said ENIC might want to try and buy him out. And I think Daniel Levy here is in a no-lose scenario. If he offers them two, they get together and they give him £1 billion, he's laughing. I'd imagine that ENIC would panic, offer 1.2 billion pound. And Daniel Levy say, no, I want 1.5. It's just to get him back in it. Something's gone on there, which we may not find out in the back for years and years and years. Something's gone on there. They were scrutinising all of his deals, weren't they? Do you remember that a couple of months ago? But nothing came of that. But something has definitely gone on there, what we don't know about. And that's why he was marched out the door. He wasn't even allowed to go back in and get his stuff, was he? His stuff was delivered, apparently, or something like that. But I don't want any of that to take place. I'll be honest with you, until after the summer window, because this summer window is huge. You know what I mean? Right. Moving on to football. We've got Man United away. Oh, what's this one? I was never frank out. The summer window is nowhere near good enough, in my opinion. In recent history, we've had 2 chances. Yes, 100%. Yeah. The thing is, though, Ghosted, yeah. Vinay's come out in January. See, I still hold a little bit hope. I'm not, and I don't think I'm being naive. My mates keep thinking I'm being naive, but I think that they've put themselves in such a position now. They have no choice. He's come out, Vinay, halfway through a transfer window. Of all the time to do it, I don't know why he done that, and said we're going to go after players, we're going to increase the wage structure. Now Frank came out 2 days before the window shut and said, look, if it don't happen this time, we've got to go big in the summer. Yang, if he's still here, has said they've basically planned for the summer. We know what we want. We're going to go big. I know they've lied to us in the past, but they haven't come out and blatantly said these statements before, have they? So surely they can't bullshit this time on this. Surely to God. I'll tell you what, mate. I was worried about Xavi Simons, and my mate Danny, that's on here most of the time with me, he's got faith with him, yeah. And he was right, wasn't he? Because it just suddenly seems to have clicked. He's been outstanding in the last few games, and I'm looking forward to watching him play Saturday. I think, like Danny said last time he was on it, I think you need to build a team around him. It's not just his skill and his drop of the shoulder, and I mean, that assist the other day with the outside of the peg was mental. But it's not just that. When you get flair players like that, it is very, very rare, as you all know, to see them track back, sliding tackles. You know what I mean? It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I just hope to God that he don't get injured. That's all I'm worried about. I really hope he don't get injured. Thomas Frank said about Saturday, most of the squad's okay. Mickey trained today and he's available for selection. Spence is getting closer and it's touch and go. There could be a chance he's available, and Romero is available because a lot of the media were asking why wasn't Romero seen at training. Well, I'd imagine he's in the headmaster's office getting told off, but they'll keep that internal. But do you think that'll stop him if it happens again? If something happens again? I don't. Do you know what I mean? And I really, really hope. I can imagine the away fans singing it, but you might not hear it at Old Trafford. But I'm really, really hoping that when our next home game is here, that they sing Romero's name. And they've already got a singer. They saying QB Romero was right. This ball of fucking shy. I'd love to hear that. But as I said, I don't know what you lot think on it, but I just don't think that they can possibly not do anything in the summer. They can't, because they've come out with these stupid statements. You cannot come out with statements like that. It's all right saying we'll try and go big, but you don't say we've already planned we're going to go big. Which is, you might say that's music to our ears to say that. But, well, you shouldn't say that anyway. You should say we'll try, because if you say we're going to go big, you just let everyone else out there know you've got a whole heap of dough. So we're going to have to wait. But if we all on here now was in charge of Tottenham, I don't think any of us would gamble with the possibility of getting relegated, would we? A typical example is, right, they have, yeah. Yeah. And now we haven't got those, yeah, they have, yeah, sold our, what have we got now? I'm hoping that Simmons is the next one. I could have even understood it, and please don't think I'm only using this as an example, right? Don't think, oh, why does he want him for? What I'm saying is, I could have even understood it. I wouldn't have liked it. I could have understood it if Sterling was brought in for 6 months loan. right? Reason is he's shit. But what I'm saying is here, I could have understood it because I'd have thought we can't get anyone. We'll just get him. It's cover. I wouldn't have minded. I wouldn't have been happy, but I could have understood. Do you see what I'm saying? They could have. What I'm saying is they could have got people in on loan if they didn't want to spend. If they didn't want to spend, because I still say they don't want to throw money at Thomas Frank. But there was other people out there, weren't there? Like Lookman, he went for like £40 million. But they could have got people in on loan just to help Thomas Frank out because he is 2-3 more injuries away and seriously derail our season. I don't think we'll go down, don't get me wrong, but I think if you get another 2 to 3 injuries, it could be a squeaky bum time to the end of the season. I really do think that. What is your predictions, people, for Manchester United at Old Trafford? Because they seem to have turned a corner, haven't they? To somewhat, anyway. I know. Let's have a look. Bins on today, boys. I can see now. Hello. Frankly speaking, almost entire online community has become like fanatic, pseudo-religious. Yeah, you're not wrong, mate. You're not wrong, mate. To be honest with you. Yeah, thank you. I thought I was going to get slated for that. Do you know what I'm saying? You're like me. I don't like the geezer, but he would have been someone to cover. I wouldn't have given a shit if they'd have gone out and bought 4 or 5 players of his crap level now to help, just to help. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, nice one. Yeah. See, I cannot understand, Ghosted, why the fuck they haven't bought Panini already. That man is a future captain for me. I mean, even when he's in defence, he's not the quickest. The man is a machine. Buy him. What are you doing? Muani, he's one of them that would play well if the club's playing well, but he can't be asked. Robertson, I wouldn't have minded Robertson for a year to help, just to help. But I do not understand. Apparently, they're umming and ahhing about it. Why? That must be Thomas Frank's decision because when him and Bentancur were fit, he was preferring Bentancur, wasn't he? I'm not knocking Bentancur, right? He's okay, but he's nowhere near as good and as effective as Palhinha. Palhinha has got something like 74, 75 tackles, the mostest in the Premier League this season, and he hasn't even played all the games. Jesus Christ. Milton, what are you doing to me? 2-1. I'll have to remember these. 2-all. Does that mean we'll be 2-0 down again? Yeah. I think they have got the money, but they don't want to. They don't want to give it to Frank. They're not confident in Frank. I really do believe that. You know what I mean? Are you on about Johnny at Bethnal Green? He's probably watching on it now because he comes on it sometimes. Big John, yeah, he tells the truth and then gets slated for it. Yeah, if you don't agree with the narrative sort of thing, innit? Yeah, Johnny's sound. So I come on here and I just tell what I think. Do you know what I mean? If I don't like it, don't like it. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I mean, when all the boys are on here, I didn't want to bring them on tonight because it was me like waffling on a little bit of stuff that I didn't think people would necessarily know. So, but when we usually come on here, half the time we disagree, but that's what it's about. I'm not going to throw me toys out the pram over it. Do you know what I mean? It's like we can all watch the same football match and say he was good, wasn't he? And you might say he's shit. Doesn't mean you're an arsehole. You just got a different opinion. Yeah. No, I do think they have got the money, but I just don't think they're confident in him. It's like the other day, to me anyway, this is what it looked like to me. When we played Manchester City, the first half, that was Frank ball to me. And the second half was playable. They went in and said, fuck this. There he is, look. There he is, Big John. Shalom. I saw you waffle on a bit there, John, but I had so much information and thought, not a lot of people know about this. You know what I mean? But I don't know what you think about the takeover, John. I think, as I said, Daniel Levy's done that to piss them off. You don't piss Daniel Levy off, mate, and get away with it. That's what I was like. Whether you like him or not, he's not a fucking idiot. And I am worried. Front wheel skids. Yeah, I'm worried that that's going to cause shit in the boardroom. I really am. I really am worried about that. There are rumours that they. Oh, by the way, you know Johan Lang. We're not getting. Cheers, a nice one, John. They're not getting rid of Johan Lang, are they? They are looking for somebody else to do the main transfers for the summer. Yang will go back to looking at the youngsters. So don't know who that's going to be. Someone. I'll tell you, it's going to be. Is it Dougie Freedman? Dougie Freedman. That's who it's going to be. He's been recommended. That just popped into my brain. Dougie Freedman. Apparently, he's really good at looking at. I expect him to come. He's supposed to be. Yeah, you heard that there first. Yeah, he's supposed to be really good looking after players, so we do need him to start. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's a right mess, isn't it, John? It's a right fucking mess, mate. I'm not a great Thomas Frank fan at all, as you know, but give the man some tools to play with and then judge him after that. That's what I say. Judge him after that. Do you know what I mean? Because fuck me. But yeah, as I was saying, I think that they haven't got belief in Thomas Frank's system. And when they came out in the second half, that was the players basically saying, fuck it, because I can't see Thomas Frank letting them off the leash. I was scouting his shit. Who was the good scout, John? Was it Mitchell? Was it Mitchell that went? Or was it me or someone else? We had a good scout and he went. But the scout went, Parachichi went. See, Parachichi, right? I don't think he's an arsehole. And he did, because we'd have all felt the same. Tottenham stuck by him for all his naughtiness. For him to leave would have been difficult, really, wouldn't it? Because you'd have thought, well, I know these, and they stuck by me. They give me a job and all this. But so for him to leave, he was not happy. Yeah, good player. Yeah, good player. I'll ask you something, John, because I spoke to you a while about that's in Paul Mitchell, yeah. Let me ask you something, John, and Milne, right? Or anyone else. Why would you, as Lang, you're in charge of transfers, why would you sell, whether you like him or not, why would you sell Brennan Johnson, right, without having a replacement? That sums up the club for me in a minute. I wasn't a great fan of Brennan Johnson. I know everyone says here he was top scorer and all that. Look, everyone's got their opinion. I wasn't bothered. When it came up with Sol Johnson for 35 minutes, I wasn't that bothered. But I naively thought, well, we got a replacement coming in. Well, where is it in? I can't fathom that out. Yeah, it wouldn't have been a mug move though, would it, John? If you'd have had a replacement, because to get 35 million quid for him, it's cushy, and they're all moaning about him now, Palace fans. But anyway, ain't the point. You don't sell someone in a position in the team unless you've got a replacement. Surely to God, I don't understand it. I do not understand it. And they're also saying because they bid 70. I think they bid 70 million for Semedo. Obviously, they got knocked back. Right? Where's the list? You've got 70 million quid. So you're saying you couldn't find anyone else out there for 70 or 80 million quid in the same position as Semedo? As people were saying to me this morning, text me that we tried FC. That's all it is. It's a joke, mate. It's an absolute joke. But I'm going to give him one more chance, John. I don't know about you. I'm going to give him that last chance because, as I said to him, I don't know if he was on, to come out and say the statements that they've made and are continuing to say about the summer. If they don't do it, so they can fuck off. Yeah, yeah. Was you on here, Johnny, when I was talking about the protests? Because I wasn't knocking chains for Spurs, but you cannot give a fan base a week's notice, can you? To protest and then moan when they're not there. And they ain't. And the 75th minute thing was never going to work, right? Listen, I'm proper diehard, believe me. If I'd have been there, I'd have gone, I'm cutting out in the 75th minute. But I'm going to put my hands up, man. There's no way I'd have walked out in that game against Manchester City in the 75th minute the way the game was going. Do you know what I mean? We've got to be organised properly. I'm not knocking them. Because at least they're trying. But you just got to plan it a bit better, innit? Do you know what I mean? Oh, a lot better. Because when you turn up there, they're only pissing themselves off when they turn up, there's no one there. To dare is to dare. To dare is to do fuck all. So many people talks about son telling people to get rid of him because of being Alf Johnson. Yeah. It's coming back to bite him in the arse a bit. Do you think, being guy, because you're quite a sensible merchant, you? I think that we're now paying, well, the team is now suffering, the squad is now suffering for not just a couple of windows, but from like nearly 2 decades of neglect. I do think that. I think it's Sonny Corbyn. We ain't got any stars. You might say Simmons maybe this year or next year, but we haven't got any stars. I know you've got Van der Ven and Romero at the back, but they're not going to be here, are they? Yeah. 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 Like you said earlier, John, that's another problem, isn't it? That's another problem. Like someone else was on here earlier saying to me that they've priced all the people out, the proper fans. How many times do you hear, like I think Danny said the other day, how many times, do you remember we used to go and you used to hear it for ages? We're in the park, they're in the park, they're in the park, like John. We're in the south side. You don't really fuck all anymore, mate. Nah. No, we are a joke. Yeah. Hey, I'm not a great fan of the goalkeeper, mate, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, he produces also, he gives me the EBGBs. He does. And the strikers, well, I thank fuck Solanke's back. What a fucking black man he is. I love Solanke. Not just because of his goals. I know he's come back and he's whacked a few in, but it's his all round play. Quality, man. Well, they had to party, Milton. They had to fucking party when he left, man. I've told you before now, my mate's a Villa fan. He nearly shot his bolt when he left. Where are we getting these people from? We need football people in that boardroom or nothing will change. Nothing will change. Or we need the towel to come in and take over, something like that. People say to me, I don't want their oil money. Mate, at the moment I would, because I think we're just going down and down and down. I will say, though, if Thomas Frank proves me wrong, I'll put my hands up. Yeah, yeah. He gets bullied, though, John. He gets bullied, doesn't he, on corners and that. I don't think they want to spend. Yeah. The problem is, Ghosted, right? I'll tell you what the problem is. As we get shitter and shitter, which is what is happening in a minute, it's an harder sell, isn't it? I was watching the channel the other day and goes, nah, ain't an harder sell, you just offering more money. Listen, if you're getting offered 300 grand a week to go to Manchester City, and then Tottenham come in and offer you 400 grand a week, you're going to Man City. They are making shitloads, mate. These are rascals playing now, in a couple of months. It is, yeah. Yeah, actually is, yeah. But do you know what I'm saying, though? It's going to haunt us, isn't it, the world? It's like you said about the house. It's going to haunt us, those words. You've got the house, now you need the furniture. Pochettino said it. So if they do interview Pochettino, he's surely going to say, you still need the furniture, mate. Are you going to back me? Because I do worry about people coming back and ruining their legacy. I know he might have said he didn't win us anything, which a lot of people do say, but he was brilliant for us. It was great under Poch, wasn't it? We was nearly there. You know what I mean? Now we've gone backwards since then. And Levy will never admit it, but that's a massive mistake, letting him go or sacking him, whatever you want to look at it. But if Frank turns it around, I'll apologise and I'll put my hands up. But I just don't think he's got it. So, to all, are you still there, John? Want a prediction before I go, mate? Well, I hope that was some insight for you tonight without boring you to death. Milton had to go and get some more sugars. I do apologise about that, Milton. I'll send you some free sachets when I send you mug. But yeah. Yeah. He's a nutcase. He's a nutcase. Yeah. They're getting so much money, John, and they fuck me, mate. As I said to you before here, that if you added up their revenue, they was fourth in the table of revenue, weren't they? But if you included their events, they were top by quite a long way. 3-1 to Tottenham. And fuck Milton's mug. I think he was saying, I think he was saying that I was boring him, and I do apologise for waffling on a bit. But it's some of the information some people do ask me about it, so I was trying to cut it down as quick as I could, but I didn't realise that was that fucking long. But sometimes it's nice to get a bit of insight into what is going on, because I'm a bit worried about that 30% thing. I don't blame Levy, but I am a bit worried about it. I'm not going to lie, because I think the last thing we need is fucking more unrest in the boardroom. Do you know what I mean? They need to get their houses in order, man, up there. It's a right mess. It absolutely is. In my opinion, they should have done everything to keep Paratici. Everything. Because we need a football man. We're in trouble. Lang's useless. And I read out the other day, didn't I, about the people that as the head honchos, and none of them they're all accountants. Oh, well done, right. Sorry, mate. I thought I took it the wrong way there. What's this? Took me a while to figure this thing out. Quite long, I guess. More divided fan bases, yeah. It was, yeah. Do you remember years ago? I don't even know if I'll be able to backtrack and find it now. Johnny might remember. Do you remember, Johnny, when they first took over and everyone says, "You're not going to like them"? It weren't right, was they? He'll be paranoid now. He'll be paranoid now, man. Oh, dear. Oh, fucking funny, man. We'll have to get you on here again, John. And if there's any, I don't know where all you lot are from. Are you from England? I'll tell you what, Milton. I'm going to ask you a question now. Only John knows this. Let me show you. I'm thinking of doing this. John was first off the press tonight. I might do this for people that are following on here that are from different countries. Well, I don't know how to get it up because I'm thick as shit, Jimmy. So I don't want to press that again. Can you see that? What do you think to that, Milton? Right? You like that, didn't you, John? I'm thinking of doing that. It's the midnight spur. So I was thinking, I'm not really, really early, but I was thinking, if I come on here at midnight, I could be the midnight spur. What time would that be in Australia, Milton? Because I've got a few other people from Indonesia and other things, and I just wondered what the time is. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, man. But that might help you out, innit? So not on at silly o'clock. Being a Spurs fan is like you got to be able to enjoy Sherlock Holmes novels, Detective Trainable. Well, I don't think Sherlock Holmes needs to do the bullshit because it's so obvious the bullshit. Right, so right now it's 7:30 on Friday. So if I went on at midnight, I say 3.5 hours away, that'd be 11 o'clock your time in the morning, Milton. Yeah, Lewis, Gludas, Vega, Luna. Yeah. Bingo, how much money do these people want, though? Seriously, man. Do you know what I mean? How much fucking. How much money do they fucking want? You know what I mean? Don't forget, though, people, because I've been on it for an hour now. I can't believe I've been on it for an hour on my own, waffling on. Thanks for coming on. And remember, please like and subscribe. Also, please, let me know what you want. Obviously, we're going to talk about the game. I'll be on here Sunday. But obviously, I want to know what you want us to talk about. Do you know what I mean? What subjects do you want to talk about? Or stuff that I know, and we can get on the case there. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. Yeah, they do. 100%, John. 100%, man. It's just greed. I said earlier, it's fucking greed, mate. It's a drug to them, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Thank you, Milton. Yeah. Get up there, this is John. All morning on front wheel skids. Hey, John. Oh, good old boy. Anyway, people, that's me done for the hour. Yeah, Milton, let me know if that'd be better for you lot over there. And I'll ask a couple of people from the other countries and all whether that'd be better to do the midnight spur. How sad am I doing this if I do this at midnight? Anyway, everyone, thanks for joining in as usual. Please like and subscribe. Let's get this channel growing, and we'll keep going. Let's hope we can beat Man United, eh? Hope you're all in good health, everyone. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you very soon. Shalom. Come on, you Spurs.